Hello everyone, my name is Gandalin, and welcome to another World of Warcraft guide. Today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about patch 7.3.5. This patch released with maintenance the week of January 16th, and is likely going to be the last major content patch of the Legion expansion. It brings some new systems and content, along with updates to a few existing things. So let's jump right in. Okay, the first big ticket item in this patch is the leveling revamp. Blizzard has applied the level scaling tech from Legion to the rest of the content in the game. This means that all the zones and dungeons from Vanilla, BC, Wrath, Kata, Pandaria, and Draenor scale to player level within certain brackets. The revamp greatly improves the leveling experience, as it allows you to complete the entire story of the zone without feeling like the game is pushing you to move to an area that is relevant to your level. This also means that all quest and dungeon rewards will scale within their brackets, so you'll always get a reward that's relevant to your level. All dungeons also now use personal loot. So let's get into a little bit more detail about how this all works. First thing to know is that the starting zones for each race only scale from level 1 to level 10, so you won't be fighting any max level wolves in Elwyn Forest if you go there after the patch with a level 110 character. After that, the rest of the zones in Vanilla will scale up to level 60. Each zone has a minimum level similar to what it had before the patch, so you also won't be taking your level 10 toon into Eastern Plaguelands. So here are a few examples of the new leveling brackets in Vanilla. Elwyn Forest and Durotar scale from 1 to 10, Redridge Mountains and Ashenvale go from 15 to 60, the Cape of Stranglethorn and Desolace go from 30 to 60, and Searing Gorge and Tanaris go from 40 to 60. You'll be able to see what levels a zone is relevant for by mousing over it on the world map. Now let's look at how the expansions are going to work. Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King are now in the same bracket, with their starting zones requiring a minimum level of 58, and all zones scaling up to level 80. Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria are also in the same bracket, with starting zones beginning at level 80, and all zones going to level 90. Warlords of Draenor is still on its own from level 90 to 100, and then we have Legion from 100 to 110. Having multiple expansions in a bracket means that you'll effectively be able to choose where you want to level, so you could get to 60 in vanilla content, then head to Northrend to do Wrath until you hit 80, and then go to Pandaria to get to 90. You can even jump back and forth between expansions if you want to pick certain zones you prefer to level in. This will undoubtedly make the leveling experience a lot more fun for players. So that's the main chunk of the leveling revamp. There are a few smaller changes that go along with it that I should cover as well. First is that the Lore Master achievements for all zones have been changed to track the storylines you've completed rather than how many quests you've done in each zone. This feeds into the whole idea that the revamp lets you experience the full story of the zone, one chapter at a time. You also might be wondering how flying is going to work with all these changes. Good news here, the special requirements for flying in certain zones have been removed. You'll no longer need the Flight Master's license to fly in Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, Cold Weather Flying to fly in Northrend, and Wisdom of the Four Winds to fly in Pandaria. All you need is expert riding, and you can fly in all of those places. You'll still need to earn the Pathfinder achievements to fly in Draenor and Legion, but those are still account-bound. Finally, the experience required to hit level 60 has increased, heirloom gear will award fewer stats at low levels, and mobs have higher health pools. These changes were made to improve the leveling and combat experiences at lower levels. You have more time to explore Vanilla's zones, and your combat will last a bit longer, letting you actually learn and utilize the rotation for your character's spec. The next big addition to the game is Ulduar Timewalking. When Wrath Timewalking rolls around, groups of 10 to 30 players will be able to venture into Ulduar once again and put an end to Yogg-Saron. You'll be scaled down to level 80 for this raid. Blizz has also updated Ulduar in general to no longer have 10 and 25 player difficulties. Instead, it is now one unified normal difficulty that scales for 10 to 30 players. All of the existing 10 and 25 player achievements have been moved to the Legacy tab and can't be obtained anymore. Instead, there are new versions of all those achievements for the new difficulty of the raid. Don't worry, if you've earned any of the 10 or 25 achievements, you'll automatically be awarded the corresponding new achievement when you log in for the first time in 7.3.5. The 10 and 25 meta achievements have also been combined, with the new one awarding both the Rusted and Ironbound Proto-Drake mounts. Next, let's talk about legendaries. At long last, Blizzard has added a way for players to directly obtain legendary items. Arcanomancer Vridiel, the guy who has been upgrading our legendaries all expansion, has a Purified Titan Essence to sell you for 1,000 Awakening Essences. This seems like a lot, but the patch also increases the amount of essences you get from all sources by a factor of 6. So your daily heroic will award 30 now instead of just 5. Vridiel will also continue to sell the Awoken Titan Essence to upgrade your existing legendaries for 300 Awakening Essences. So here's how the token will work. Using it will result in one of 3 possible outcomes depending on how many legendaries you already have. First, if you're missing any of your main spec legendaries, you'll get one of those at random. Second, if you have all your main spec legendaries but are missing any of your off-spec legendaries, you'll get one of those at random. Third, if you have all the legendaries for your class, you'll get a BOA legendary token for a different class. Legendaries obtained this way do not impact your bad luck protection for getting random drops. You also cannot get any of the crafted legendaries, the legendary Pantheon Trinket, or the Netherlight Crucible legendary from this token. As a reminder, Awakening Essences are obtained from the following sources: your first random heroic each day, the weekly Mythic Plus chest, your first kill of Antorus bosses each week regardless of difficulty, emissary caches, and the weekly PvP quests. A new source in 7.3.5 will be your first random battleground win each day. In total, you should be able to earn about 1,000 essences a week from all sources. Now I want to talk about Silithus, but if you haven't seen the ending cinematic of Antorus and don't want spoilers, you should skip to the next section of the video. Okay, for those that have seen the cinematic, you know that Sargeras' sword has destroyed most of Silithus and left a wound in the world. This patch brings a new questline that deals with the aftermath of the impact. Players that have defeated Argus the Unmaker will be directed to their capital city to start the quest when they first log into the patch. If you haven't defeated Argus yet, you can just queue up for the last LFR wing. There are also some environmental changes to Silithus, including some new pets, rare spawns, and toys. This is also a good point to mention that at some point during this patch, we will be learning why we retire our artifact weapons before Battle for Azeroth. This will probably happen closer to the end of the expansion. Now let's talk about PvP. There is a new battleground called the Seething Shore. It's an island off the coast of Silithus where Azerite has started to appear. Alliance and Horde will face off in a 10v10 King of the Hill style battle to collect 10 pieces of Azerite from randomly spawned nodes. This battleground will become available as you progress through the story in Silithus. There are also 2 new PvP mounts, one for each faction. They are available from the Vicious Saddle vendors. Next up, we have some class changes to talk about. First is the new Combat Resurrection system for Mythic Plus dungeons. Blizzard has changed the system to work similar to raid encounters. Players begin a Mythic Plus with 1 battle res and gain 1 additional charge every 10 minutes from there, up to a max of 5 charges. All combat res spells share this pool of charges. Next, there are some minor class tweaks to hunters, monks, priests, rogues, shamans, warlocks, and warriors. Click the link in the description box for the official patch notes to see the specific details for each class. These changes are aimed at low-level balance and should not affect level 110 characters. Hunters also have several new pets they can tame in this patch. Now there are a bunch of small changes and updates that were included in this patch to cover. Holiday dungeons are now available to all players level 20 and up. Rewards will scale to your level. Rewards for Trial of Style Season 2 have been added, featuring some new recolors of existing sets and complete versions of sets that were missing pieces. As part of the leveling revamp, many quests have weapon rewards that resemble items removed in the Cataclysm revamp. There are 2 new Scarab mounts for the Call of the Scarab micro-holiday. Players who have an Authenticator or Blizzard SMS Protect on their account will be awarded with 4 additional backpack slots when they log into 735. A new meta achievement for completing PvP pet battles with teams of each family has been added, awarding a new tabard. A new quest has been added in Stormwind and Orgrimmar to help players acquire the selfie camera, as well as upgrade the existing one to add several new filters. A questline has added Dalaran's Mailroom, where you can earn a new toy, pet, and title. And finally, the only profession change in this patch is that vanilla-level enchanting recipes have been changed to use a single type of enchanting dust. Now, before I end this video, I wanted to take a minute to address allied races. This patch added embassies to Stormwind and Orgrimmar that will serve as the starting location for unlocking allied races. There are also some cosmetic changes to Thunder Totem and Suramar City that reflect the upcoming alliances. Now, if you've been following the data mining for the PTR at all, you know that there is a ton of data in this patch for allied races, specifically Nightborn, High Mountain Tauren, Lightforged Draenei, and Void Elves. This data includes their character customization options, heritage armor sets, racial abilities, mounts, tabards, unlock requirements, and recruitment questlines. While this data is present in the patch, it probably won't be accessible until a much later date. My guess is that access to the allied races will be part of the pre-order bonus for Battle for Azeroth. We don't know yet when that will be, but it'll be a few months at least. And there you have it. That's everything you need to know about patch 7.3.5. And that's it for this video. If you like this guide, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or if there's something you want me to cover. Check the link in the description to follow me on Twitter. And of course, subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you'll get notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.